if you want to see how I got this look, then keep watching. So this is my bare face, and I have really bad rosacea, so I need something that's going to just cover it all up. A lot of people who have acne scarring or acne or rosacea like I do, my foundation routine is what worked for me, so it's not going to work for everybody. There's different skin types. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk through and show you everything I use and how to apply it, I guess, how I apply it. The only thing I'm not going to show is my eyebrows, how I do them, if you want to see an eyebrow routine or how I do them. Now the next thing I'm going to use is this NYX HD Photo Primer Base. So this is more of a greenish blue tint to it, so I'm going to apply it everywhere, not just my T-zone, but everywhere. So I take about 2 or 3 pumps, something like that. It's kind of runny, and I'm just going to apply it, dab it all over my face. I'm gonna put it everywhere, and it dries kind of quick, so you just kind of gotta quickly work with it. I'm just going to take my foundation, which is my favorite. I used to use the regular True Match. I don't have the bottle on me, but it's just the regular L'Oreal True Match, and that has been my go-to for a few years now. But this one, I wanted more of a dewy glow because my skin is so dry, so I was told to try the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. Mine is in W3 Nude Beige, but it just looks like this. It's really nice. It gives you that coverage that you need, but it also looks kind of dewy, so it's not meant to be a matte foundation. It's supposed to make you look a little bit oily. I'm just going to take this old, like, mirror thing, and I'm just going to use the back of it to put my foundation, because I hate putting it on the back of my hand, because then I forget to wash it off and I go out in public with makeup on my hand. So I just take about 3 pumps, like that, and I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm just going to dab it and then put it all over my face. So, I tried this dry one time and it did not work out. I like using a beauty blender because when you use a brush for your foundation, it just, I don't know, it doesn't come out as nice. I used to use a brush for years for my foundation, and then I discovered the beauty blender and I haven't gone back to a brush. Now this is a couple shades lighter than my face and my neck. I don't know why, but my face and my neck are the lightest places on my body. I mean, I'm pretty pale anyways, but through the day this kind of melts into your skin, I guess, if that's the right word to use. So it fits your skin tone more. You can use a wet sponge, like a makeup sponge, if you want. I'm gonna take some more. I would just, I don't know, take your sponge, your makeup sponge, and just put it under the faucet for about 10-15 seconds, but keep squeezing all the water out of it, let it fill up, keep squeezing it, because the more you get it in there, the bigger and more damp it'll be, and the better your makeup will come out. So, like I said, I guess you can use a beauty sponge. The thing about a beauty blender that just makes it look so much better than a beauty sponge or an actual brush. It just makes it look more airbrushed and better. Now Now this is not going to cover all of my rosacea right away. You're still going to be able to see it. But once you get done with everything, it'll be pretty covered. The kind of rosacea I have, it doesn't look like blush. It's very bumpy. Okay, so I'm all done with my eyebrows. They need cleaned up and everything, which is okay because we're going to go on to concealing. For me, I like to highlight when I conceal, I guess. So I'm going to take the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous in the shade Fair Clair. It's just basically the whitest that I could get, because when I get really pale I still like to highlight even though I'm like almost snow. So I'm just going to take this, and it just comes on like a lip gloss applicator, so it looks like, and I'm just going to do under my eyes. I'm going to bring it up to my temple area, and I'm going to bring it down like in a V, or not more of a V, more of a triangle, as you would call it. And I'm just going to get under my nose area right here where people would have most of their creasing when they do their makeup. So I'm just going to do both sides the same way. Bring it up. Trying to show you while I look in my mirror. I don't use a wall mirror because I like the natural lighting, so. Okay, and then after I do that, I like to go down on my chin a little bit and highlight my upper lip / Cupid's bow. And my nose. Don't want to do right above the round part of your nose. You don't want to put highlighter through all of it, because you want your nose to look natural when you contour it. So what you're going to do is leave a little space from where you're going to put some contour across. So I'm going to go on the sides of my mouth, and then I'm going to go right up here. Because you want to highlight everywhere the sun is going to hit your face. Unless you don't want a lot of highlight and you just want to conceal. You can do all of this with a concealer that's your skin tone, and it won't highlight you at all, really. And I'm just going to do under my eyebrow. Hopefully I don't mess them up. Sometimes I make them too thin and have to go back in and redo them. Okay, so that's it for highlighting. So then I'm just going to go back in with my beauty blender. I'm going to use the bigger side to move everything or set everything in place, and then I'll just use the tip of it to go in the corner of my eye and eyebrow. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to dry it, I'm not going to move it, I'm just going to dap it. And if you want to take it anywhere else, because the product's already getting on your beauty blender, you just tap it somewhere else and it'll move, put product somewhere else. So the best thing to do if you have really dry skin is to use more wet products than dry. I want to be really careful when you're doing under your eyebrow, because it really stinks when you're doing your brows. Finally get them the way you want, and then your concealer messes it all up. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two concealers. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Cafe. And it's really, really dark. I mean, you can tell how dark that is compared to my skin. I'm going to use this one for my nose. And then for my cheekbones, my jawline, my temples, around my lips, things like that, I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This one is in medium. It's not that much darker, but it definitely gives you that shadow-like effect in your areas. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'll put it right in the hollows of my cheek. And to do that, you can take your fingers or just take any kind of brush and start on your jawline and roll it until you feel your brush go in more. Then you know that is the hollow of your cheekbones. So For me, I've done this so many times that I don't need to use a brush, but a lot of people do, and that's fine. So I'm just going to go in sides of my face, right in here. And always bring your bronzer when you're using a cream or powder, bring it straight down. Because when you bring it straight in towards your nose, you just look ridiculous. I'm going to contour around the highlighted area of my chin that I did, and right around the sides of my upper lip by where I highlighted, so it just makes my lips look more full when I go to do them. So, there. And then I'm just going to do my sides of my head, forehead. And then I just go back in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to pat that out. Make it look more natural. Or like, if you're like me and can't go out in public with a bare face, because for me, I get a lot of stares and a lot of people talk smack when they walk by me when I'm a bare face, and I hear some names that I don't like being called towards me, or they're talking to each other and they say hurtful things about the way my face looks when I don't have foundation on. You will hear that so many times that you just say, forget going out in public. I hate it. I hate going out in public. Sorry, my camera cut out, so I don't know what you saw, what you didn't see. But I basically just contoured my nose and highlighted. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set all of this. You can use a translucent powder if you would like. I used to use them all the time. But for me, it makes me look really cakey. So the only powder foundation that I've ever found that makes me just look flawless and great just within 2 hours is the M.A.C Mineralized Skin Finish and Natural. I don't even remember what brand it is, but it's just a powder brush. The bigger, the fluffier, the better. I promise you. So I'm just going to take it, hit the excess off, and just put it everywhere that I put any liquid so that it sits better. On my eyes. You know, some people don't like to put powder on their eyes. I do, because for me, eyeshadow is powder. So I don't really want a creamy base where it's going to stick and I can't move it. I like it to be able to be moved, and then I can just set it later. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually contour. The e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer Duo. So I'm just going to take it on a flat angle, or not flat top, an angled brush, and I'm just going to dip it, and then I'm just going to go back over where I put the where I put my concealer that was for contouring. So I'm just going to go right in with it. One is enough, if you can see. It's like already kind of darker than this side, so one little, whatever. One application is fine. For me, I like it darker. I don't know, I just do. And I wear my hair down a lot, so I like it to be visible and my hair not cover it. So I'm just going to keep going with it until I build it to what I like. And remember, if you have too much on here, you can just go back over it with your beauty blender and lighten it out. So then I'm just going to do the same thing the other side. So I'm just going to go up here. You want to contour everywhere that your hair is kind of going to come, so it's going to cause like a shadow. So it's going to make your face look slimmer and more sculpted. So I'm just going to put it on the sides of my temple and on sides of my forehead. Just make it a little bit darker. You don't want to do that too much, because then you're going to look like you have brown splotches on the sides of your head. So I'm just going to do the same thing over here. And then I like to bring it down so that where my forehead is, where I'm contouring, and where my contour line is, they kind of meet. because you don't want just a boom, boom. I don't know why I did boom, but you don't want just like your two different areas. Then you look ridiculous. So you want to kind of match it together. So you don't even need to put more product on. You just move some of it. Because if you move enough with your brush, you'll just move the product. I always take everything that I put on, whether it's my foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, everything back towards the hairline, because you don't want a line. That's the most embarrassing thing when you pull your hair back after it's been down all day and you have this makeup line. You look ridiculous. Okay, so the next area I'm going to do is my jawline. This is very important. A lot of people don't do their jawline, and you should, because it sculpts your face the rest of the way, and it just looks so pretty. And like me, I have more of a I don't know, I don't want to say squared off, but I love my jawline. I think it's my best feature, so I like to go right along the actual bone. No higher at all. You just want to sculpt it. What I do is I want to do more browns and a little bit of blue. Because I am wearing my blue contacts and I am wearing a blue outfit, I decided let's do a lot of browns that's more comfortable and subtle, and then we'll put a pop of blue in there. I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape and this is really good to use to get a defined kind of like a triangle and more of like a cleaned up look for your eyeshadow, so it's not just all hanging out here and looks like a big ball of mess. It's just not pretty. And I'm going to go under the lower lash line and up to the corner of my brow. So that's how far out I want my eyeshadow to go, is just to the corner of my brow. I'm going to take this lighter brown and then this shimmery brown. They don't have names in the palette, so I'm sorry about that. The shimmer all over my eyelid, and then the lighter brown in the crease, and build it up. So I'm going to take that lighter shade, I'm going to tap it off a little bit, and then I'm just going to pat it all over my eyelid into the tape. I have something. So I'm just going to put about 3 layers on, because I want to keep it light and not too dark. I'm really into the smoky eye. I do it every day. So I'm just going to do 3 layers to pack on. So that's my third one. I don't want it too dark, but I don't want it too light. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm just going to pack it on. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fluffier brush that's more like a fluffy blending brush. So I'm going to take that lighter brown that I was talking about, which is right here, and I'm going to build it until I get the darkness that I want. But what I'm going to do is kind of like a windshield wiper. I'm going to circular motions after I put it in. So I'm going to start at the tape in my corner, in my crease, and build it to about right before you get to the corner of your eye, because if I bring it all the way in, it's going to look a little bit weird, and I'm not into bringing it all the way in. So just build it up. And the 2 shades, because they're right next to each other in the palette, they basically blend themselves together. They don't look like 2 different shades. So, yep, I'm just packing it up there, windshield wiper motion. So I like that. It's not too dark, not too light. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing to the other eye. Make sure you always tap off the excess of what's on your brush, because you don't want a lot of fallout. So I'm going to take a darker blue, like what I have on. So I'm going to take this blue shade right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush because it comes out very pigmented, as you can tell. Tap it off, and I'm going to go straight into the corner and more in towards the eye. So I'm putting it on the outer corner just to give me some pop of color. So I'm just building it until I get the color that I like. I hope that I'm able to help you guys do some looks and help you guys get some advice on what to do. If you guys have any like proms this year when you guys go back to school and everything, and you want to see like some prom makeups or date night looks. Sorry. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush. This is, I need to get a new one, but I've had this one for quite some time now. It's the Bare Minerals Crease Defining Blending Brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm going to blend the blue with the brown and into my eyelid color. So I'm just going to go in circular motions to buff it. So I'm just going to take the tape off, and as you can see, hopefully you can see, hoping and praying, it definitely made more of a straight line to my eyebrows. So then it's all cleaned and defined. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this Bare Essentials Precision Eyeliner brush. It's very flat, very useful. And I'm going to take the light brown that I used for my crease, and I'm just going to put it right on my lower lash line, like right underneath. Just to give me some of that smoked out look. I don't like my under eyes being very plain. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take my first mascara and I'm just going to do, to make them look more dark and everything, I'm going to do the tops of my lashes first. So let me get in here so I can really see. I'm just going to roll for the top of my lashes. I'm just going to the tops of it and rolling. And then I'm going to go the opposite way. And I'm going to roll. And I'm just going to shake the lashes because I don't want to put any mascara on my skin. So, this is just a blush palette that I got off at Amazon. It just comes like this and it has 10 different colors. You have your oranges, you have your pinks, you have this really fun purple, which I'm going to do a really fun tutorial on. But I just like to take the palette when I do my makeup and I like to hold it to my face and I like to decide what I'm going to use. So I think what I'm going to do is use these two right here, this one and this one. Use a fluffy brush, and then, like I said, I'm just going to mix the two. And then I'm going to take it like a smile from my apples and my cheeks, lightly, but then I want to make it really dark back here. So I'm just going to start from the back and work it forward. I love blush. It might come out really dark on camera. As you can tell in my last video, I love blush. If you don't like your blush as dark as I do it, do your own. Make it lighter. Doesn't matter. If you get too much blush, you just take your beauty blender or your brush, whatever you use to put your foundation on, you just tap it and it'll lighten it. Okay, and then I'm just going to repeat the same thing to the other side. Do not go lower with your blush than your contour. You'll just defeat the whole purpose of contouring, and you'll just look like you contoured with blush, and you'll look ridiculous. So, okay. Just continue here. Okay, and then I like to take what's left on my brush, not adding any more, on my tip of my nose, because it's winter, you know, you want to look like you're in the cold. And then I take it on my chin a little bit. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my highlight. So I like to take a big fanned brush like this. And then I'm going to take my Mary Luminizer. and it looks just like this. It's like the most beautiful highlight I've ever used. I was using e.l.f. for a long time, and I can't believe I ever used it. It was just terrible, in my opinion. And I'm just going to go down a couple times, and I'm going to take it like this. So I get it on the tops of my cheekbone, and I'm going to bring it down where my blush is not. Everywhere that the sun is going to hit, I'm going to put a highlight. And down the bridge of my nose, because obviously the sun is going to hit there. Tops of my forehead, above my eyebrow. On both sides. My chin. I like the dewy look because I'm not oily at all. I'm very dry, so I like to use a lot of highlight. And then take the smaller one, and you can go back through the top of your nose, the bridge of your nose, I mean, so it's more defined. Put it on the eyebrow bone. So since I did that and let my eyelashes sit, I'm going to curl them. This is the e.l.f. curling iron, or curling iron, eyelash curler. And I'm just going to curl them. Alright, see the total difference. This one just looks more, makes your eye look more open. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. And it just looks so much better. I'm going to take my favorite lip liner right now at the moment. I'm obsessed with this color. It is the NYX, don't you dare, get down. It is the NYX lip liner in the color Nude. I'm just going to line my lips. If you don't line your lips all the time, it can be a little bit tricky. You just follow the outside of your lip. It's very easy. Don't overdraw them because it just looks ridiculous, and that's my opinion. Some people like to overdraw their lips because they don't have very big lips, but me, my lips are fine. So I'm just going to line them carefully and line the top. And then I'm just going to fill them in with this pencil. Okay, so my camera died again. I didn't charge it last night, so it keeps dying. I did the lip liner. Now I'm going to add some lipstick. And the lipstick I'm going to go for in this video is the exact same one that I wore in my previous video. And that is Twig by M.A.C. It's a really nice purpley nude color. And so I'm just going to put that all over. That is it. I don't like to do any lip gloss. I'm not a big lip gloss person, so that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and just hit subscribe.